Hello guys, this is part 4 of ASP.NET Web API tutorial. In this video, we will discuss retrieving data from SQL Server using ASP.NET Web API and Entity Framework. So here is what we want to do. We are going to have the SQL Server database table, as you can see here. And when we issue this URI localhost forward slash API forward slash employees, we want to retrieve all the employees from the SQL Server employee tables and return them, as you can see here. In case if we ask for specific employee, notice in the URI right here, we have employee ID. We have employee ID as well. In this case, we want to return that specific employee details. As you can see here, this is the employee details and this is his employee 1 ID. Okay, so let's see how to achieve this using SQL Server Entity Framework and ASP.NET Web API. So let's flip to Visual Studio. So what we need to do first, we need to go to our Visual Studio. Let me go. Where is the Visual Studio? I am using Visual Studio 2022. Okay. The first thing that we want to do is create our Web API project. So I am going to click on create a new project and search for ASP.NET application framework. Let's name our project means click this and let's name our project employee service. Project name. Now we have to save your project. The location, that would be my location. Select it, then create. Now we want to create a Web API project. So on the screen I am going to select the Web API. As you can see here, different ways to create your projects. So now I am selecting, because we want to create a web API project. So on the screen I am going to select web API, and now let's click create. I selected it and create, which is going to take a few seconds to create the web API project for us. The project is now successfully created. The next thing that you want to do is create an employees table within our SQL Server database. So so the project is created successfully. Now the next thing that you want to do is create an employee table within our SQL Server database. So what do you need to do? Go to the SQL Server database. Where is the SQL Server database? I think here it is. Open up it. I have already written the script, so I'm going to show you that. It's taking too much time. Okay. Connect to our database. Now go to the file. Open. Choose the file. Which file do you want to open up? So I'm going to select where is the file? Here is the so here we have the script. So here we have the script which creates the database with the name EmployeeDB. Database name is EmployeeDB. Within this database we are creating our employees table. Within this database we are creating our employees table, and then finally we have this script which is going to populate employees table with the test data. I have already executed this script. Now let's flip to Visual Studio. We are going to add another project to our solution employee service. This is going to be a class library project which is going to contain our Edu.NET Entity Data Model, which retrieve data for us from the SQL Server database table. So let's right click on the solution, add new project, and the type of project that we want to add is a class library. So class library, here it is. Class library project. Let's name this employee data access. Let's click create. This is going to add the class library project to our solution. We don't need this class 1 dot cs cs which is auto generated, so I'm going to delete that from our project, and to this employee data access project I'm going to add a .NET entity data model. So let me first delete this. Okay, so and to this employee data access project I'm going to add a .NET entity data model. So what you need to do, add new item, so what we need to do, we need to create a we need to add a .NET entity data model. It is present under data, so choose the data and here it is. So let's select data and the edu.NET entity data model. Let's name this data model employee data model. Name it as employee data model. Let's click add. Now we want to generate our entities from database, so I'm going to select this first option, entity framework designer from database, and then let's click next. So click next. We want to create a new connection, so I'm going to click this button. So I need to provide a server name. How to provide the server name? Just copy this, close it, minimize it, and give here that server name. And now here we need to specify our server name. We have already specified our server name. There are different ways to specify the server name. Either you can use dot or local within the parenthesis, but I give my server name as like that, which is my server name. So and from this drop down. So, and we are going to use Windows authentications to connect to SQL Server, and from this drop down we are going to select our database. Here we need to select our database. Our database is EmployeeDB. In our case, the database is EmployeeDB, and let's click this button. Test connection succeeded. Let's click OK. So click OK. And entity framework is going to save a connection string within this name employee DB entities within app.config file within our employee data access class library project. So let's click next. Now, and it is asking us whether we want to use entity framework 5 or 6. Let's choose this one, and let's click next. And this is going to connect to SQL Server, retrieve all tables, views, and stored procedure. We only have got one table. We have only got one table. Within our database table, let's select that table employees, and the model name space is going to be employee DB model. Let's leave that with the default, and let's click finish. So this is going to take a few seconds to generate the entity data model for us. The entity data model is, so let's check. So click OK. Click again OK. Click once again OK. So this is going to take a few seconds to generate the entity data model for us. The entity data model is now successfully created. Notice within our employee data access project, we have a configuration file. Where is the configuration file? We have configuration file, app.config file. We have a configuration file, app.config file, within which we have a connection string with the name. Connection string, where is the connection string? Here, with name employee DB entities. That points to our database, which contains the employees table. We want to use this employee data access project within our web API project. We want to use this employee data access project within our web API project. So let's right click on the reference folder here. Add reference. We want to add a project reference. So let's select the project tab. We have already selected the project tab within which we have our employee data access project. Let's select that and click OK. So here you can see employee data access project reference here. Okay. Notice it has added a reference to our employee data access project. The next thing that we want to do is add a controller. Next thing, first of all, we need to close this. The next thing that we want to do is add a controller to our web API project. So let's right click on the controller folder and select add controller. Means where is the controller? Here it is. Right click, add controller. Notice here we have templates for both. Notice here we have templates for both adding MVC and web API controllers. I am going to select the template web API 2 controller empty. This one I will select web API 2 controller empty, which is going to create an empty controller for us, and then we will add the required methods on an as needed basis. So select it, click add. There was an error. Why this error? Because we did not build our solution. So first of all, you need to build your solution. So now we will build succeeded, and we will now create a controller. So add controller. We select this web API 2 empty, web API 2 controller empty, add. Now it is asking for a name for the controller. Let's call this employees controller. Employees controller, click add. Now all it is going to do is create an empty controller for us. That is a class with the name employees controller. Class with name employees controller that derive from the base API controller. That derives from the base API controller class. Now the namespace for our employee data access project is employee data access. So let's use that namespace here. Okay. So what we need to do, using employee data access. And within our employee controller class, let's have a get method which responds to the get HTTP verb. So this method is going to return I enumerable of employee object. What you need to do? What is that? So this okay, get method. So where is the employee object coming from? So employee object coming from, we have not created that. We have not created that. This is the generated entity by the edu.net entity framework. So edu.net entity framework has generated this entity based on this employee table, based on this employee table, which has got these columns. So if you look at this entity right here, so when we right click and go to definition, and select go to definitions, notice we have properties that correspond to these columns, in this employees table. So we want to return a So we want to return an I enumerable of employee object from our method. So the name of the method is going to be get method, which is going to respond to the HTTP get verb. Now we have to create an instance of our DB context class. So within our employee data access project, within our employee data access project, let's expand the EDMX file. We have already expanded the EDMX file here, and the notice here we have employee data model context.cs. So open it. So within this file we have employee DB entities, We have DB entities class, which inherits from DB context, DB context class. So this is the class that manages connections. So this is the class that manages connections to the database. It retrieves the entities for us. So let's create an instance of this class. So let's go to our employee controller. We are already in our employee controller class, and here let's use a using statement. So using employees DB entity, employee DB entities. Let's call this entities. Let's call this entities. So let's use entities object, and this has got the employees. So entities is equal to new employee DB entities. So let's use entity objects, but before that we are getting an error. Why we are getting this error? I'm surprised that why. What is happening to it? IEnumerable and public IEnumerable employee get method. Why the get method is having error? First we need to install entity framework. So how to install entity framework? Go to the NuGet package. Where is the NuGet package? Manager. Browse entity framework. Select this. We need to see six 2.0. Okay. install it. Okay, I accept. Now the only problem is with this get method. So let's use entities object. Entities object, and this has got the employees object. This got the employee objects. This has got the employee objects. You know, this is basically a collection property which is going to return us the list of all employees, and on this let's call toList. On this let's call toList. Which is going to convert that to a list of employees. Now this is going to respond to the HTTP get verb without an ID parameter. Now when we request for a specific employee, we want to return just that employee. So let's have another get method which is going to respond, but first we need to return it. Now this is going to respond. This get method is going to respond to the HTTP verb without an ID parameter. Now when we request for a specific employee, we want to return just that employee. So let's have another get method which is going to respond to the URI which has got an ID in it. So let me copy this portion of code. Paste it here. So let's pass ID parameter to it. So int ID. So, and we don't want to return the entire employees. So we don't want to return the entire employee list. We just want to return one employee. So first of all, let's change the return type of employee. And from collection, we want first or default. First or default. And then here we are going to use a lambda expression. So we want to use a lambda expression here. Employee such that employee dot ID equals the ID that we are passing to this method. All right. Okay, what happened? You are getting an error. Return entities dot employees dot first or default so let me go to the, and from here we need to copy this. What is happening to it? Return entities. Why we are getting this error? Cannot implicitly convert type employee data to system dot. Are we missing some directive? We are already here. Returns. What is happening to it? I am not able to understand it. E is equal to, let me confirm it. Okay, why it is giving an error? E dot ID is double equal to ID. Employee data access is there. Surprisingly. I think something is first or default. Okay, I just remove it and then type return entities dot employees dot first or default e dot e e dot ID. It is giving an error. Why it is giving an error? Cannot implicitly convert type employee data access employee to I'm missing no cost here. First or default entities is right. What is happening to it? What does it means? Okay, all right. So save it and run this. Let's go ahead and build our solution. First of all, we need to build our solutions. The build is succeeded. As you can see in the status bar, build is succeeded. In the status bar right here, let's run our projects. By pressing Ctrl F5, we are on the start page here. Let's navigate to what is happening. Taking too much time. Let's navigate to /API. Here we are at start page. So /API /employees. Notice we are getting an error message. The error message says no connection. String named employee DB entities could be found in the application config file. Now if you look at the app.config file, go to the Visual Studio, look at the app config.file here. Notice we have a connection string with the name employee DBs. Here you can see we need to copy this. Notice we have this connection string name employee DB entities. So why is it complaining about that? So why it is complaining about that then? That is because entity framework is looking for a connection string with this name. Entity framework is looking for a connection string with this name employee DB entities with this name in web.config file. And where is the web.config file? Web.config file is here. Notice in this file we don't have a connection string with name employee DB entities. Notice we don't have a connection string with name employee DB entities, and that is the reason why That is the reason why we are getting this message. So to fix this, all we have to do is make a copy of this connection string. We have already make a connection of this connection string. Within our web.config file. So let's copy and paste that in the connection string section. Means we need to paste the copied portion from app.config file to web.config file. So I pasted it here. Let's save it. Let's save it. Let's save it and let's reissue this request. Save it and reissue this request. So request notice now from notice. Now we get all the employees. Notice now we get all the employees from the database table as expected. Now if we request for a specific employees, means we get that specific employees detail in our okay, here employee ID is 5. In our next video we will discuss a concept called content negotiation in ASP.NET Web API. Thank you for listening and have a great day.